Hi, and welcome to Semmelweis STEM Talk. Today, we have the great honor of welcoming a wonderful guest from one of Hungary's top universities. Dr. Erika Bálint is an associate professor at the Department of Organic Chemistry and Technology at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. She runs her own research group. She is also a mom of two, and she recently participated in the Hidden No More initiative of the US Department of State. We are so thrilled to have you here with us today, Dr. Bálint. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm really appreciated to get this opportunity. So thank you so much. This really kind invitation.
Please tell us what is your story and what is your journey and how did you end up in research?
Okay, so I have quite a long story, but I try to summarize it. One of the parts is really positive, but unfortunately I have some part which is quite sad. So how can I start? So I was a little child when my family mainly working on the hospitality industry. Mm-hmm. They had bars and this type of things. So, but my aunt, my sister of my dad, mm-hmm. Started to building an own company as a woman, and she's a chemical engineer. And I always, when I was a young child, I was always thinking on that chemistry things. But of course, I didn't know that time that what exactly she's doing and what is chemistry and chemical engineering. But I was really open to know more about this. And we used to meet every weekend. And I always just took a lot of questions of her about chemical engineering process and stuff. And I was always really interested and curious. And she was absolutely open to teach me and talking about chemistry and about her work. And I just remember that when I started the primary school, and one of my teacher asked us that what will be our main dream to be. Yes. And I just thought that I would be a chemical engineer. And I just remember that he was laughing, but do you know exactly what is chemical engineer and what they are doing? And I thought, yes, of course, because my aunt is a chemical engineer.
Yes, it's natural.
Yes. And but finally, when I decided to be a chemical engineer or chemist, it was in my secondary school in the third year. Mm-hmm. And I always ask my aunt that what she recommends me, which universities, mm-hmm. or because we had not three more universities, but in my options I was thinking to choose BME, ETA, or University of West Prim or Pannon University. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she always told me that, of course, you need to choose BME because I was also graduated there. and of course, I was straightforward thinking on that mm-hmm. way. But before I concretely decided, she offered me a possibility to work 1 month in her company, in a laboratory, to see that what they are really do. And it was interesting because she is working on analytical chemistry and environmental chemistry. It mm-hmm. means that they are working on the determination of the air, the waters, and the sounds, this type of things.
Yes.
And she put me on the wastewater laboratory. And you can imagine that as a young girl, I was really not interested about wastewater. And the first time I was really not happy that I need to work that laboratory. Yes. And I put coats and a lot of gloves to me because I don't want that my skin have the feeling with the wastewater or something like that. Mm-hmm. But finally it was really great. Of course, I didn't know at that time that how it's going the process scientifically or professionally, but it was really interesting, colorful, and a lot of great. I had the possibility to doing experiments, so it was so great. And after the 1 month, my feeling was that yes, this is what I wanna do. So this is my way. And after the last year of the secondary school, I chose the BME, and finally I would start it. And But before I started or choose the BME and starting the learning as a chemical engineer, I really didn't think on being a scientist. I was thinking that finish or get the diploma and then going maybe to the company of my aunt and working there or something like that.
Yes.
So I was really not thinking on scientific career or something like this. But what happened that I was thinking, or my mind is changed. It was a little bit sad story because I was in the second year at the university, and my mom got a really bad news that she had cervical cancer.
Oh, wow.
And it was really not easy period of us and of our family. And we tried everything which we could on that time. We had a possibility that she had a surgery in Germany, and we tried to find everything that we could somehow save her life. But finally, 1.5 years later, she couldn't suffer more or something like that, and she went. And it was a really bad things for me, or incredible, or nothing. Sorry, it was a really one of the worst thing in my life. So I cannot say really my feelings, that how my feeling was on that time. I feel that my life is lost or something like that. And but after a few months, when I started to, and of course my aunt was with me, and I had also 2 younger brothers. So my aunt tried to taking care of us, and my aunt tried to be. So she was talking with a lot about my career, and because it was not easy to continue the university. I just remember that when my mother died, it was in an examination period.
Oh my God!
And I had 2 more exams, and I was feeling that no way to finish and take these exams. But thanking to my aunt, she was really tried to be really positive with me and try to be support me, and finally I could manage the exam. But of course not that the exam period, however later, but there was a possibility to get some extra weeks after the period of the examination. And finally I could to finish the semester, of course not with the best grades, but I could finish. And after my aunt, because I was living on that time in a small village near to Budapest, and of course it took time also the traveling every day. It was 3 hours from both ways, because by public transport. And my aunt found out that it would be great if I could move to her house, which is very close to BMA. And then on the other environment, kind of new family, my mind started to be changed and started to be thinking positively. And because I cannot change the world after that, I cannot take back my mother. So and thanks to my aunt, my feeling was that I was really motivated to find out something, to invent something about some drugs for cancer, and helping somehow for that people who suffering cancer. And in that time, my thinking was started to think that being a scientist or something like that, because I was checking that how it's going, that if of course on that time I was a little bit naive thinking. I would think that it's so easy to find out a new drug and I will invent something, and of course it's not easy, and I can say, but on that time I was really motivated. And mainly this was the main part which is motivated me to after when I finished and I got my degree, I finished university, I had the possibility to apply for a PhD position, and I was no thinking more. I was absolutely positive that yes, I should do the PhD because it is one of the first part or first step to be a scientist. So mainly it was my
So it sounds
main
like
story.
you have a really, really powerful story and powerful motivation to pursue this career path. And all the way from those years at university and looking back and going to the present moment now, you are the leader of your own research team, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what do you guys do? What subjects and what topics do you deal with? And why is it an important field nowadays?
Yeah, so it's really easy to answer to you because we are working on cancer research. So, but of course now it's not as easy as I thought earlier. So mainly we are working on pharmaceutical chemistry. So one of the projects which we are working on, the development of the drug synthesis. The process of the drug synthesis. It means that we are working on that how could we develop more environmentally friendly synthetic methods for the drug synthesis, and how a much more or greener way. So this is one of the parts. It's kind of technological development. Like we are developing continuous flow methods instead of batch methods, which is the traditional one in the pharmaceutical industries. And the other thing, we are working also on the synthesis of new biological active molecules. But concretely, this biological active molecules is connecting to cancer, anti-cancer research. So we try to develop anti-cancer molecules or biological active molecules. And we had a cooperation with companies where we had a possibility to screening our molecules in vitro cytotoxicity on different kind of cancer cell lines. So we are on that really early stages, but now I'm really happy because we have EU grants, and I'm also in a member of as a consortium, and that project looks like that as a real pharmaceutical research project, which looks like that there are 9 different countries, 9 different research groups. And one research group is working on the in silico modeling of the main target of the grant is connected to breast cancer research. So the in silico modeling in Sweden, they are trying to find small inhibitor molecules which can bind the protein in the breast cancer cells or percent. And our part is that to synthesize the molecules, because after the in silico modeling we get structures, and then we try to synthesize that molecules, and then we have a possibility to investigate the in vitro cytotoxicity in France and also in Ireland. And there are some members who are immunologists, so they can also investigate that, okay, if we have a great molecule which can which has anti-cancer activity, but how can work in our body, or how can work with the other cells. And it has also a great opportunity to working together with immunologists and also biologists. And this project just started in 1 year, so hopefully at the end we have a possibility to test also the molecules in vivo. And I am really positive and hopeful that we will find something which we can maybe use in the real life sometimes. So we will see, but I can feel that this project can open the door for the next step, and not just doing the basic research at the university.
And what would you say is the most rewarding part of your current job?
Maybe I can say that the success somehow. That if we could synthesize a molecule which we find out, or we think that it will be good, and if we get in our hand, it's cause always positive thinking, and it's always somehow it's success. And if we have a small success, it's started to be more success, and it looks like that it's I think this is one of the secret, that if you are success, you can do more things. So maybe I can say like this, that this could be my rewarding.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So success is feeding and building more success.
Yes. But of course, yes, it's not like that you are always successful and something like that. But I think this can be a power of the further success, and it means that if I have a lot of students, bachelor, master, and PhD students, yes. And for me, it's always much more positive if they have some success. For example, yes. They won on the student competition or something like that, because I know that I could do something which it was helpful for them, and they can be successful. So this really motivated me.
And you mentioned it's not always easy.
Yeah.
What would you say are the challenges of your role? And maybe there's something specifically, unique to your area of research, perhaps?
Yeah. So the main thing that as a chemical engineer, we are working in a laboratory. So for example, if I just thinking back for the COVID-19 time, it was really hard to us to continue our research, because the university was closed, and it was not that science or research work that we could continue from home or something like that. Of course, we had time to write publications and yes. Try to collect our results and thinking further. But on that time, it was really difficult. And mainly, this is one part that we need laboratory for our research work, and we cannot do this from home. And the other thing which is not easy, that you need to so if you wanted to do own research or yeah. wanted to be at an own research group or something like that, you really need grants. So it's always somehow it's difficult to be sure that you win somehow a grant. But I can say that I can say that I'm lucky, because I just remember that when I finished my PhD, after that immediately my supervisor supported me to apply for fundamental grants in yes. Hungary, kind of postdoctoral grants, and it was the first time that I won it. And after that, I can say that I have continuously some grants, and it is really, really important. But of course, sometimes my feeling is that what will happen if my research group will be not enough money or will be not a grant in some time. But I try to be always positive and just thinking that no, I need to do everything that I can win a grant. So I try to publish continuously and try to be a lot of effort to be sure that we can continuously get grants.
Yeah, the question of grants, I think it's one of the biggest
yeah.
fears of any scientist
because
anywhere, especially a group leader, because I guess now you are responsible for sourcing
exactly.
the funding for everybody and for
exactly.
the whole project, right?
Exactly. So for example, my PhD students nowadays, because the salary of the PhD students is not really high, and they are not really motivated after the master. They are not really motivated to continue as a PhD student, because if they go to for example, pharmaceutical company, they can earn more money.
Right.
And it takes a lot of discussions to me with my great students to thinking differently, and try to find that why is a good choice to continue as a PhD student after the master. And I try to motivate them, because if they wanted to be a researcher or a scientist, it's really important. And I try to motivate them that, okay, now you will get that salary, but I will try to also add some more money from the grants. And also after the PhD, I am sure that you can earn more money than if you just stay on the master level or something like that. And of course, it's not easy to say them that I can give them extra money for the whole of the PhD studies, for example, for 4 years per students, because I don't know that how will be 2 years later or how will be the situation, but I can say them that I will try to do everything that I can give you this extra money, but of course to support them, and of course, but they are also needed to work hard and to work in as a team work or something like that. But I think that if we can working effectively together, we can solve these problems too. So,
and tell me, what is it like actually to go from being a scientist, a postdoc, to becoming a leader, where not only you have to do the actual scientific work, but also now you have to deal with the people and you have to, you know, be in charge of everything. What was your experience?
In my experience was that when I finished the PhD, and then I had the possibility to get this postdoctoral grant, and after I have also a possibility to finish that project and then go to one of the pharmaceutical company, for example, in Hungary, and working there as a scientist, or choosing an academic career. And my vision was choosing the academic career. That my feeling was that if I go to the pharmaceutical industry, the projects are concrete always, so you need to work that project on that project, but it's somehow it's not work. For example, the drug will not successful, you need to finish, and if you are curious about the process, or if you are curious about deeply on the chemistry, you not have a possibility to do more research. But if you are working in an academic career, I think there are much more freedom in the scientific career. So my reason was mainly that part. So it was firstly, it was not that I would be a group leader or something like that. So mainly I was thinking that I would like to do research much more freely. Yes. And that was one of the things. And when I decided to be a leader, it was somehow it comes, but it was not easy. So after my PhD, 4 years later, I went to maternity leave, but on that time I had also PhD students together with my supervisor. So I was just a co-supervisor or something like that. And but it was great that I was at home, but the PhD students, and also I had some bachelor and master students on that time, just a few, not so much. But my PhD students were working them together, and they manage everything in the laboratory. And from home, I could discuss them because thanking the internet online, and during the night when my baby was sleeping, I could write the publications because continuously I had also grants on that time. And I was thinking that there was two possibilities: to stop the grants during the maternity leave, or continue. But finally I decided to continue, because I thought that if I stop it, for example, for 1 year or 1.5, I cannot buy chemicals or stuff to the laboratory for my students, and how can they continue the work if they need some chemicals or something. And I just decided to continue. However, to do this, it was really important to publish continuously. So I cannot say that, okay, I am at home with my baby, but there will be no publication, because otherwise maybe I had to stop somehow the grant. So it's because publication is important for the grants. And it was really great that the research was going continuously, but I was not in the laboratory, thanks to this really brilliant PhD student. And when I went back after 1.5 years, my supervisor was not really happy that I could do this, because he was thinking that you can do a research if you are in the laboratory, but not from home. So we had some kind of discrepancies about this thing, and on that time, so it was not easy to so on that time I was thinking that we cannot work together because of this situation. So it was not easy. That of course it was not easy working or continue the research from home, because sometimes I was thinking that I'm a good mother because of course when my baby was playing, or we were playing on during the day, I was working only if she was sleeping.
Yes.
But of course sometimes during the time you are thinking on the research, so it's not like that you are on maternity leave and you just take care of the baby and do everything at home. However, you had to thinking parallelly with the scientific part and the family part. And of course it was not easy, but I thought that if I don't do this, I cannot continue after, because the time is going, there are a lot of development in the research, and I will stop somewhere, and then I cannot, and of course if the publication is not continuously, your publication process, something like that, it's much difficult to get grants. And so this were the things that motivated to me, but my supervisor was not satisfied with this. He was somehow jealous or something like that about this process, because he was really thinking that you can do the research only if you are at the university. And after I went back 1.5 years later and continued in that environment my research work, but I was not really happy. I was thinking that maybe this is not my way, because of course if you are not a good relationship with your boss, it's always not good. So it's a complicated and but the time was going, and of course my PhD student had to finish, and after he finished successfully, I went for the second maternity leave. But on that time, my feeling was that because the second grant after the postdoctoral one, it was my individual grant, so it was completely different from the project of my supervisor. But I didn't have own laboratories or something like that. So we are working in the same laboratories, but on different projects.
I see.
And after the second maternity leave, I tried to do similarly. So I was also working from home, and my students working in the lab. But of course, it was much difficult because I had two, so so it was not as easy as in the first time. But I could also manage this. And on that time, when I went back from the second maternity leave, my feeling was that we are really not work together. So I need to choose to leave the scientific career or the academic career and go to one of the pharmaceutical companies, or try to accept this situation and working further. But my feeling was that I cannot accept this. I tried to talk with my supervisor that I have new ideas, I would like to do new things, and please try to work together somehow on that new project. And he was not interested on that project, which I was thinking. But both of us were thinking that it's not a good idea working together, because after that. And I was really strongly think that, okay, I have also PhD students on that time, and I just 1 year from one of my grants. I was thinking, okay, I will finish this grant and my PhD students will finish, and after 1 year I will leave. So this was the final decision and the plan. And my aunt also came to my way and she told me that, come on, you don't need to leave. You spend more years after your PhD. You need to get the DSc title, and let's work on this. And I thought, no way, because I don't have place anymore in that environment. I cannot work here. I will finish everything, because of course I had a possibility to move immediately, but my feeling was that I cannot leave my PhD student there alone, and of course I had also other students. So I was thinking that the correct if I finish everything and then leave. And my aunt just always told me that no, you shouldn't leave. We need to find something. And after she had an idea that let's apply together for a grant, because on that time, 4 years ago, there was a grant where was important to cooperate companies and universities, like bilateral project between companies and universities. And my aunt told me that she has an idea that how can we work together. And on that time, she has possibility to work together with called Hajdú Gabona company in near Debrecen. And they had a problem with the corn and the wheels because they had a toxic problem on that. And it was a good idea to find out a new project that how could we solve that toxic problem, or called there is a fungi Fusarium graminarium, that how could we save the corn, for example, to have this problem. And my aunt found out that we could involve the Debrecen University, this company, and both of us for a consortium. And then we find out a kind of innovative way to solve this problem. And we applied for that grant, and I was thinking, okay, we can apply, but we will see, but I'm not sure that we will get this. And still I am thinking that after, because on that time it was half a year more, and after half a year I will move for one of the companies. And finally we won it.
Oh, wow. Was that a big surprise?
My aunt, no, but for me, but for me, somehow it's not a surprise, but my feeling was really mixed. Somehow I was happy, but sometimes I was really sad, because I was thinking that on that time I was working in a really small laboratory, because my boss told me that we cannot work together in the same laboratory, so please move to a small one. And I was really nervous about that. How can I manage this project, this big grant, because it was one of my biggest grant than the previous one. So I was thinking that how can I do that in a really small laboratory? And I was a little bit afraid about this. And this grant took me the change, because it started in September in 2022. And in 2022, 1st of July, because my boss was the head of the department. And he went to he retired, and then we had a new head of our department. And in September, when the grant started, I was discussing with him about that I will not have enough place to working on that project, and how can we solve that problem. And he was really nice and absolutely open to support me and help to me to find other places. And mainly this project came to me the changing. And after that, because on that time I started to work alone with I had a group, but without group name or something like that. So it was that after half a year, or maybe half a year, I asked because the new head of the department asked me to join to his research group. But it was in a Christmas time, like 2 years ago. And my feeling was that it was on Friday. And I was told them, okay, I was thinking on the weekend. And my feeling was really strongly that I really want to be at the new research group. I don't want to join to anyone, because if I want to apply later, bigger grant or something like that, I need to show somehow that I am I have an ability to lead a group or something like that, because it's important in the grants. And I was waiting until Monday, and on Monday I went to this professor and asked him or told him that I was thinking about this, and my feeling is really strong that I would like to be at the new research group. But it should be noted that during that time, or the earlier time, there was no woman leader at our department. So it was not easy to be. It was not automatic that you have grants, you have students, you have everything, and being a leader as a woman. And I asked him that, please tell me that what should I do that if I want to be in the research group. And she just collected that you need students, PhD, master, bachelor, you need grants, you need to cooperate with pharmaceutical companies. And I thought that I have everything. Yeah, what should I do now? And yes, he told me that, yes, you are right. So let's find out a group name of your research group. And this it was like this. And after 2023 and 1st of January, I had the possibility to start and with my own research group.
So it sounds like you had to kind of fight for it.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. So it was not automatic, absolutely.
So you mentioned that you had periods of difficult relationship with leadership, let's say, and now you are a leader of your own group. What does leadership mean to you, and what do you feel are, the most important values that you try to base your leadership on?
I think one of the most important things to support the youngest generation. Mm-hmm. So I just remember that during my PhD career, if I went to go for a conference, it was not automatic that my supervisor paid for the conference and sent to me. I always had to apply for some grants to get money for the conference. But now I'm thinking that but it takes a lot of time, so because writing the grants, something like that, and now I'm thinking differently. If I have a possibility to support my PhD student to send them a conference and I can pay them for our grants, it's really important to open the door to them to networking, and because it's one of the most important things to go abroad, to talking about the science with different professors and try to know more knowledge about same chemistry but different parts, and so then networking is really, really important, and my thing is one of so it's really important to support them. And the other thing is, as a leader, it's always important to talking them, to chatting them. So I'm not as a type of leader who are thinking that, yes, I'm a leader and you are a student and I'm here and you are below. No, I am thinking on that we are on the same way somehow. Of course, they know that not, but I try to thinking like this, and I'm really open for discussion with them. If they have any problem, I always tell them that if you have any personal problem or professional problem or anything, my door is always open to discuss it. I have a lot to do always, but I usually find time for this discussion, and I think it's really important to have some personal discussion with them. And it can give a possibility to close to each other and try to understand if somebody has difficulties in something and why they have this, and not just to be nervous that why you couldn't finish with this, or why you didn't do this or something like that. It's important to talk with them about this and try to find the solution and help them.
Now, but besides dealing with people at work, doing the projects, getting the grants and all of that, I know that you're also a mom. And you already mentioned how it was quite a challenge managing maternity leave while trying to stay in touch with the research and everything. What about nowadays, now that you're a group leader, now that you're back at work, I suppose full-time, right?
Yes.
What helps you to balance your responsibilities at work and also your family responsibilities?
I cannot say that it is easy to find a balance, but I can say that it's not impossible. I think it's just a decision. I say just that if you not thinking separately that this is my personal life and this is my professional life, however, you try to connect these two parts together, it has a possibility to making the things easier. So what I mean, so I try to involve also my family to somehow to my professional life. One important thing which I can say that my husband also a scientist.
Oh, that's so cool.
And somehow we are working together. So and at the same department. And so this is, yes, I know that it's easier to involve my family to the professional life, but maybe not just this, not due to this. However, also if you are open to involve also your children to the laboratory work, something like that. So they are really open to come to the laboratory, and of course not playing the chemicals, however just playing really safe parts of the laboratories. They are really open this. And for example, if I go for researcher nights and we are preparing experiments for young people, which is kind of safe experiments. Yeah. They are always there. Oh, they are doing the experiments individually or so they are really open for that and not really motivated. And for example, because for me, one of the maybe the most difficult things was the traveling. If you have a family or if you have a small children. But I was decided that what happened if my daughters came with me? What happened if we are going together with my family? And I think this could solve the problem that this traveling problem that sometimes we also took my mother-in-law, so we are going as a family. Yes. and try to find the time to go to the conference or for the discussion or the meeting, and the other part of the day we are together and making a holiday or something like that. So my secret, if I can say, that I try to connect the both part. And my daughters are also really happy to come with us. But of course, nowadays it's not really easy because the oldest one in the school. So we need to find the solution that it's not easy to go somewhere, for example, during the period of the school. Yeah. But luckily, she's a really great student. So it's not easy to get some extra days from the head of the school if we are going for a conference or something like that. So I'm happy that we could manage this.
That sounds like such a wonderful idea. And actually, did you take your daughters with you recently when you went to the US with the?
No, this was the first time that I couldn't. Because I just remember when I got this opportunity, my first question was that can everybody can I take with my family with me? And of course they told no. In that case it's not possible because it's kind of it should be an individual travel, because there will be a lot of programs and there will be no time to be with my family. And so this was the first time that I had to travel alone. But thanks to my husband and my mother-in-law, everything was really fine. So these 3 weeks, somehow it's long, but somehow it's fast because the time goes really fastly. But I'm really happy that we could manage this, because of course it was not easy also for me. But I know that they were more difficult because they were here and they had to manage our daughters. But everything was fine finally. So.
And this was the Hidden No More initiative, right? Yes. Run by the Department of State. And it was focused on highlighting women leaders in various STEM fields from around the globe, as far as I understand.
Yes, exactly.
What were your experiences? What was this program about, and what did it do for you?
If I can say in one word, it was amazing. So it was, I think, one of the best traveling in my life. And So it was looked like that it was a 3 weeks program in the US, all over the US. It was my first time in the US, so I was really excited. And first we went to Washington, and altogether we were 46 women in area of the STEM. And there were part of the women are professors at universities, other part are CEOs at their own company, and the third part they are working on as a coach or as a mentor of women or younger girls. So but the main thing was that everybody working with women's together and support women's on different field of the STEM. And it was really, really great because we had the possibility to know about the US culture, but in the same time, we had the possibility to know about 45 other cultures because we were all over the world, and every country has only one representative. So it was really an amazing program. And we had a possibility to know about mentoring programs in the US, that how can they mentor from the earlier stage, like primary school students, until the leaders. And we had possibility to visiting research institutes and universities. We traveled a lot in the US, for example, from Washington. We went to, after Washington, we were splitted for 6 groups according to the field. For example, we had a chemistry and physics groups, let's say, and we went to Durham in North Carolina, and others went to other different small cities. And after that, half of the group, like means that 3 small groups went to Boston, and the other 3 went to Chicago. And I was in the Boston group, so I had the possibility to visit MIT and Harvard University. It was amazing. It was so great, so inspiring to be there, because usually if I read some really great publications, these type of results came from that universities, and it was really great to be there. And also after Boston and Chicago, we went to LA, to Los Angeles, and meet again with the whole group. Yes, and on that part we had some funny parts also, because we had a possibility to visit Disneyland.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was so cool. And also the Walt Disney Studio. And on that part, so all together we had also some coaching programs, like about negotiation, about leadership. How could you improve your leadership? And also, for example, in LA, we had a workshop about brand building. How can you make your own brand? And also, how could you prepare kind of non-scientific films, or how could you write non-scientific papers about your work? It means non-scientific, that how could you talk about your work not really scientifically, like everybody can understand. So it was really colorful program. It was really strict. We had programs all the day, so it means that from 8, sometimes 8 or 9 until evening. But it was so great, and I got a lot of motivation, because we had the possibility to see concrete programs, and concretely at the Duke universities in Durham, there was 2 women talking about that how could they improve the number of the students who are choosing mathematics subject, for example. And they organize different type of programs during the summer and during the year for the younger generation. And they showed the total programs, and I was really motivated to try to find or try to do some similar in chemistry, because nowadays in Hungary there are less and less students who are choosing the subject chemistry, and also physics and mathematics. So I'm also a member of the Hungarian Chemical Society. And now we are really started to work on that how can we motivate the youngest generation to choose chemistry as a subject, because usually it's not the easiest subject in the school. But if I think if we can show somehow that generation that how nice the chemistry and how colorful, or if we can motivate them, maybe the number of the students could be higher. And now I'm really motivated to start some similar programs which I saw in the US. So it was really great because it gave us a lot of energy. Motivation, also program possibilities, and also a really great networking possibility or opportunity, because during that time I arrived back mainly 3.5 weeks ago, and still there is chatting on the and we are talking together, and it sometimes it happened that, for example, somebody went to Portugal and also already met with the Portugal representatives. So it was a really amazing program.
So you keep in touch afterwards
as
well?
Yes, absolutely. And we had also now in an alumni program, and there will be further programs in the next year. So it was really great. I can say that it's kind of life-changing experience.
That sounds wonderful. It sounds like a really inspiring trip. Now, thank you so much for sharing so many interesting things from your life today. To wrap up the conversation, I would like to ask you, do you have any message for the future generation to perhaps inspire them, motivate them?
Yes, if I can say just a few things, I would recommend them to thinking positively. If something wrong happening in our life, we need to be always positive. It's important to continue. And the other thing, it's also important that to dare our dream and to brave enough to what we would like to do. And always, which is very important, that maybe the most important, that we need to believe ourselves. And if we believe ourselves, we can do anything.
That's a very powerful message. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a huge honor and a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you so much. It was also a great pleasure to me.